Okay, let's dive into the Mumbai Indian analysis. First, let's quickly take a look at where they finished last season. So, as you all know, they finished in the top 4 just about, won the first eliminator, but lost the qualifier to Punjab. And then it was Punjab
Please
and
don't
RCB.
remind Harshit how it is they qualified.
Yeah, just don't.
Remind us.
Hey, I still remember it was that Santner, that wicket that he took off Karun Nair. Yeah, India were going so strong in that particular match.
India? You mean Delhi?
DC were going so strong in that particular match. It was on 95 or something, Karun Nair at that time. That one wicket and the whole match then just toppled India.
Like many matches for Delhi.
Like many matches for Delhi.
Good position, topple.
But yeah, both the times again Mumbai Indians. I think you won the other one, but yeah, that loss to Mumbai, that first game, because
just at the end of the group stage. I remember because that match was practically a decider.
Yeah,
it was like whoever wins that match makes the top 4 because the top 3 had already been set. So the last spot was MIDC, and DC proceeded to do just DC things.
very disappointing.
He had 8 points from 4 games, and then in the rest 10 you picked up 7. Woeful.
If I actually look at MI's last season, it's always good to see the last season. I think, the biggest problem was, like most season, they were late starters and those losses really hurt them. Eventually, they again did Mumbai things and qualified for the top 4. But then because you qualified 4, you had to go through that tough route of making it. And as you know, statistically, it's not possible, coming down from 3 and 4 and winning the title. I think that was their problem once again. That's something that they'll have to guard against this season, I think, MI.
It's been statistically done once.
I know, SRH, I think.
2016.
Yeah. But that's one thing that MI will have to do, that, not necessarily they have to have a slow start and then catch up later. So I think they'll need to start well is something that they'll have to do, which they weren't doing last time. And I think they missed some spinners is what I can remember from last season. And for most teams, if I was to sum up their last season, for most teams, reaching qualifier 2, effectively being in the top 3 would be taken as a successful season. Ask Harshit about it, he'll take it as a successful season. But for MI, I think since the time you've not won the trophy, 2020 was the last trophy that they won. I think 6 years of a dry spell, and even the last season where they've played qualifier 2, I think overall will be looked at as a mixed bag season, more a failure than a success, because that's the high standard that MI have set. Yeah. So with that in mind, they have a lot riding in this season, and once again, expectation will be nothing less than at least playing a final. I think that's the least that people expect from Mumbai. That's the legacy that they have. So will they play the final or not, or win the title or not, or be in the top 4? Those are the questions that we'll look at. But as is the norm, we try and make their 11. So yeah, let's get down to it. Who wants to do the honors?
I'll go.
Okay.
So I think openers pretty much write themselves. Rohit Sharma, obviously.
Yeah.
The other would be Quinton de Kock. I know there's a Rickleton who's competing, but the fact that Mumbai reached out to Quinton, told him to keep himself available.
To be in the auction, yeah.
He was pulling out of the auction, but I think the fact that they've kept him, and the fact that Rickleton, even in South Africa colours, has been usurped by de Kock as the opener. So I think it's going to be de Kock. So Rohit and de Kock are their openers, and de Kock will then also double up as their wicketkeeper. So that's done dusted as far as the openers are concerned.
Okay, before I go any further on the 11, what's the latest on Rohit Sharma, the impact player? Because last season we remember that Rohit was playing as an impact player. Is that something that we'll see this season?
No. Because again, even the head coach Mahela Jayawardene was speaking at an event earlier today, and he's made it very clear that this is not going to be happening. He said that last year he played because he was having some fitness issues. He's saying there were some teething fitness issues, so we had to use him as an impact player. But as he says, and we can show this to our family members, the focus this season is to keep him on the field as much as possible while making decisions based on team balance and match situations. On the field as much as possible means he's in the 11. He's not being subbed in or subbed out.
Also, if he did have fitness issues, the one thing that we've noticed about Rohit Sharma in the last few months, man, has he gone through a transformation.
Thanks to the current KKR head coach, ironically.
There are people still wondering. Yeah. He goes around meeting people, and there are people who ask him where's the rest of him.
I know. Supremely fit.
He is. Let's give it to him. We've seen him dive around the way we've not seen him dive around for 10-15 years now, I would say. So this is a supremely fit Rohit Sharma. Look at the picture that he posted the other day as well.
Maldives.
Maldives. He's really enjoying things.
Okay. So people actually mistaking him for Shreyas Iyer.
Who's a supremely fit
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
People
That's
have
a
also
compliment.
done is people have dug out some old image of Virat Kohli having exactly struck the same pose, looked like another beachy sort of location only, and then both looking very, very similar in terms of what that photo looked like. People have done that comparison.
Well done to Rohit. So okay, that's established. Then he's not going to be an impact sub. He of course opens in that regard. Then yes.
Then 3-4-5 writes itself, doesn't it? Tilak, Sky, Hardik.
Yeah.
India's 3-4-5.
India's
Mumbai Indians
3-4-5.
3-4-5. Done, dusted.
Not India's 3-4-5. Now Ishan came.
Ishan also came. But I mean, ideally, in a you could say that okay, this is a similar middle order, and Hardik Pandya then slots in at 5.
It's sort of, almost like what you would say for Barcelona in the 2008-9 time, and more so for Spain. Those are there in the 11. Just have those 8 players there. Iker Casillas is one player who
Sergio Ramos.
And Ramos the other. That's it. Rest everything's the same.
No, then the third, there was Fernando Torres who would lead the line.
Villa at times you would start with as well.
And then Torres would come in. Yeah, that was this thing. So these three sorted. Now, see, 6, 7, 8 was where it took some time because we were trying to make an 11. But I think, Naman Dheer was someone who they had high hopes from last season.
Yeah.
Bit of a mixed season in IPL, but he's had a good SMAT. I think got 270 odd runs and was striking it at 150.
An average of about 33, I think.
Yes. So, some number 6, then Naman Dheer has to be there. I think Mitch Santner kind of writes himself but at number 8.
Yeah.
The number 7 was one where I had a couple of doubts, but I think we can debate this quickly. Is it going to be Rutherford or is it going to be Will Jacks?
It has to be Will Jacks. If I'm using the legacy slot.
Yeah. No, but also it'll also look at the balance, no? Because both bring different things in the
Exactly.
table.
Rutherford will give you some dibbly-dobblies.
Yes.
So Will Jacks will give you off-spin. But I think considering the way their team is, see, you've got Naman Dheer as an all-rounder, you've got Hardik, and you've got Bumrah, Boult. I don't think you need a Sherfane.
And also in terms of form and what Will Jacks has been doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Eyes closed. He has to.
He won 3 man of the matches at number 7.
Yeah. He's actually won 4 in all in the T20 World Cup. 4 man of the match awards. And I think what happens with MI and why I'm also going with the Will Jacks is because with Hardik, he was typically a finisher for India. Here he bats at a much higher batting position.
Correct.
They will need a finisher, sort of a batter. Naman Dheer might do it, but they also need another guy to really back them up. And I think what Will Jacks was doing at the T20 World Cup, he'll have to be looked at. And another reason why I'll have Will Jacks, I think the weakest area for MI still remains their spinners.
Yes.
I know they've tried to, get a few in, but spinning is their weak area, and if you can get a Will Jacks, you can use him against left-handers, though he did well against right-handers as well. Speaking of wickets and his batting form, I think it's a no-brainer. So
then remove Sherfane, Rutherford, and number 7 is Will Jacks.
Yeah,
absolute clarity.
And then number 8 also, I don't think there's any debate. Mitch Santner, thankfully not as a captain, so you can't.
But you know what? I am a massive fan of Santner. Massive fan. But Mitch Santner disappoint me at this T20.
But he won't be captaining.
He won't be captaining here, no. That's the one saving grace.
And by the way, as a bowler as well,
he didn't bowl himself enough.
Told, actually, we had our man, the man from Rachin Ravindra, out-bowl him.
Yes.
Rachin Ravindra
and
out-bowl him as a left-arm spinner.
And that's despite the fact that Santner is the captain. So he can in theory choose to bowl himself. No?
Yeah, no. I think the Santner, the bowler also did not look, he was decent in parts, but bowler also didn't look as menacing as he can be, or as menacing as he would look for New Zealand previously, or on occasions for Chennai. Or on occasion for Chennai when he used to be called in. So I'm not sure about Santner, but you guys have him. Okay, let's do the rest of the 11.
See, your other alternative would be Allah Ghassan, sir, in that role.
He's also had a patchy
He's raw. My problem with
and he doesn't make sometimes the Afghanistan 11.
Exactly.
A lot of times he doesn't make the 11.
I mean, they have mystery spinners for fun. So Hence, that's why I put Santner.
Starting with Santner for the experience, and of course, you will have to put aside all his faux pas as a captain that he made, and he was a wily customer for them in the previous edition as well. So you're starting this season with him for sure.
Okay, and number 9. This was another place where I was not sure. So are you going Deepak Chahar or are you going Shardul Thakur? I know my choice.
See, I think this is a no-brainer. Deepak Chahar will start.
Really?
I don't, because he will start. See, you could play both.
You could.
Yes, there is a possibility that you could play both. I don't think that MI is starting without Deepak Chahar.
I think Mumbai matches you're definitely starting because see,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
not forget you've got a Hardik Pandya, so a Boult with a Bumrah and Hardik, so your 12 overs are sorted of pace. You'll need about another 8 and you'll
But
have...
let's not forget Deepak Chahar is a decent bat as well.
Yeah.
He is.
That's why I actually paired them together because again similar role. Both will bowl in the power play. Both can give you a
Do
bit of
I
batting.
really need batting at 9? At times I will. At times I will. Any amount of batting is good, right? But I think Mumbai, especially venue, etc., I think you have Jasprit Bumrah as your insurance policy.
Okay,
Huh?
let's put Jasprit Bumrah then, because you talk about it.
And-
So we get 11 and 10 done.
Are Trent, Boult and Jasprit
Okay,
Bumrah.
so
Yeah.
they are your
players.
show shot
200%.
players that you get. And this, remember, as we always do in our analysis, we pick the batting 11.
Yes.
And so your 12th man is always a bowler who you
Yes.
bring as an impact sub in the second inning. So, see, I don't know. I doubt that.
I'm
I
starting
mean,
with
is there a way you can bring in? As I was saying, I know you'll need a spinner. You've got a Will Jacks.
No, the only spinner you have, wrist spinner in the team is Mayank Markande, and he has to be your impact sub because you don't have a wrist spinner beyond him. Gazanfar is a mystery spinner.
When to do the auction, this was the one hole they wanted to plug. Yes.
But they got Markande, who
There
didn't
was-
play a game for
they-
KKR
they-
last year.
They didn't have a lot of options, or if there were, then you had those bids reach about. Remember, they didn't have a lot of purse as well.
Yeah,
Mumbai
and
Indians.
they tried bidding for Rahul Chahar,
Yes.
but then got significantly outbid. Markande they got on the cheap because KKR had
Chahal,
picked him at
Bishnoi,
base
all
price.
these guys, they were just out of their budget.
Yeah.
Markande.
Cam
all-
Green.
Yeah, Markande is all that they could manage.
Yeah, I
So-
think once again, what you see in this lineup is you're lacking good spinners.
Yes, you are.
That's why
Undoubtedly.
Mitch Santner would have to play, and because of that, you're having actually to leave out some good players that will sit out, like Corbin Bosch had a decent outing. He sits out. He's been in some good form. Then Ryan Rickleton, I would still try and look at having him in the team somehow. If I could have got a Mitch Santner out by getting an Indian spinner, but
You don't have an Indian
yeah.
spinner. Your
Mayank
Indian spinner is
Markande
Mayank.
is there.
But then he'll be your impact sub. I think
Yeah.
he'll be the clear and obvious impact sub swap. So I think in that case, done dusted. Your number 12 is Mayank Markande.
Yeah.
And for 2 years now on the trot, maybe longer, MI's biggest weakness looks their spin department.
Yeah. But that's the thing again. Quality risk spinning options in a mini auction. You knew that they'll be outbid because their purse is something you knew what it would look like.
Yeah.
After those releases were
See,
made.
in all of this, somewhere you'll have to look at, I don't know, bringing another batter in. Because just look at the amount of, by the way, just look at the amount of bowling options that I'm seeing. Hardik Pandya, Naman Dheer, Will Jacks, Mitch Santner, Deepak Chahar, Trent Boult, Jasprit Bumrah, Mayank Markande, 8 bowling options.
Not everyone will bowl
Yeah,
4
exactly.
overs
Naman Dheer, I'm not primarily looking at somebody who I'll need in every match.
as a bowler.
Yeah, as a batter, I will definitely need him much more. And if Deepak Chahar is coming in at number 9, I think this is as deep
Batting
a batting lineup as I'd want. And Deepak Chahar at number 9, you're taking that. Many teams will not have somebody of Deepak Chahar's credibility as a semi batter also at number 9.
True.
No, he's a decent batter. I think you can. Mitch Santner, by the way, had a better time with the bat than ball in
the World
T20
Cup,
World
yeah.
Cup. So he's
And even
batting
there, he
at
was
8.
mostly coming in 8.
Yeah.
So, huh.
I will remove Naman Dheer and Tilak Varma at number 6 and push everyone a place up.
But then who comes in place of?
No, that's too radical. We have to make a more. Tilak Varma at 6 is not happening. Sir.
It happened for
That's
India because you
Yeah,
needed,
because
you had no choice.
you had that option and that kind of firepower. Not here. It's not happening. Tilak Varma is not going to 6.
Like Thakur.
Shardul, no, maybe.
You don't. There is 8 bowlers. You don't need a bowler. You need a batter.
No, Shardul
I mean,
will
if you-
play. I think after the first 5,
that's
6
what-
games he'll play.
No,
Because
you're
Deepak
going.
Chahar will get injured. No?
You are going exactly the opposite of what they should be doing. Actually, getting a batter. That's why I said in a way, ideal scenario, I'd want to get a Rickleton in as well. by if I can drop a fast bowler. I think that's what you need. Your bowling options are just way too many. Too many bowling options.
But again, if you drop a Trent Boult, no.
Yeah.
you
You
can't.
know, but you will need a Santner as well. I'm just saying, who is it that you can drop?
See, Santner and Jags are not that kind who will give you 4 overs every game. 2, maybe 3, 4 if they're having a phenomenal day. Their problem actually is that they don't have a wrist spinner. There's not a single wrist spinner. Even if I bring in a Ghazanfar, I'm compromising because again, he's still raw. He's still raw. I know he has good stats and we'll delve on those in just a bit. But how do you fit him in then? Then you're fitting him in and trying to build a team around him.
Your wrist spinner.
Wrist spinner.
Who's been having a torrid season. Third time in the IPL. 23, I remember he was his last decent season. 24, he didn't have a good year for SRH.
But I don't think Mumbai really have an option to start with anyone
they don't.
else. But
They don't.
I was
You'll
pretty
have to.
surprised that they did not.
Purse was a problem for
Yeah,
them.
Purse was a
was a
problem.
big problem for them.
Yeah, Purse was their issue because they didn't release too many players
Well,
and they
that's
did
what- maybe
trades.
that's what they
Ironic
should
that
have.
we're talking about the franchise and lack of money, but
Yeah.
Irony, but still, the rules exist for a reason.
Okay, it is what it is. Looks like the common consensus. Of course, you can make minor changes, and I'm sure those of you watching may have a few suggestions when it comes to this as well. Okay, that brings me to the other aspect that we look at the young players. Okay, so who have we got that you can watch
See,
out?
so
Allah Ghazanfar, we know, is not too much of a young gun, though he's young.
He's very young,
because
but
been
he's got
there
experience.
in international cricket. We all know what he does, so we all know what he offers. So nothing that we will tell you here is going to surprise you, other than the fact that he's got international experience, and on occasions has been expensive and has been made to sit out by Afghanistan.
Also, Ken is a surprisingly decent batter. Can wield the long willow. He's got a 30-40 odd in some ODI games. So he can. I mean, I think the potential is there that he could become like a
I was looking
Rajin.
at his T20.
No, his T20 numbers are not
T20
great.
numbers with the bat
They're
are
not great.
something you don't want to look at.
They're not great. I think the one who I'm very interested to look out for, don't know if he'll play, is Mohammad Salahuddin Izzar. He's a
Yeah,
Bihar-
they've got this one guy that they got in the auction.
Yes,
in that
he was
limited
one of the
purse.
few people that they managed to buy with the peanuts they had. But he is an exciting one. He's a left-arm pacer, idolizes Mitchell Stark, and I don't think he can bowl at the same speed. But obviously, would have learned a few things watching him. Had a decent SMAT. 5 games he played for Bihar, got 9 wickets at an economy of 7.11. So he's been good. He's definitely been good even for Bihar. I mean, this is the same team the way we always look at. Oh, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, what is he going to do? He's been decent.
See, otherwise I would have said that probably this will be a season where he'll just be used to observe and walk around. Most teams would do it, but because it's MI, you never know. MI have had this in the past as well, that they like to get these youngsters and then throw them in the deep end,
See
and
if they
then
can
they
sink or
see
swim.
yes, and they have gotten match winners like that by trying these youngsters and throwing them in the deep end straight away. So possible because he's gone to MI. Who knows, because you're looking at those options. I know they start with Trent Boult because he's not playing a lot of active international cricket. If he seems a bit rusty, you can always get an Indian fast bowler, and then let's see what he does. That opens up a slot to maybe get a Rickleton or someone
Yes,
in the
you
top
could.
order alongside a Quinton
Or
I
a
don't know.
Ghazanfar, then suddenly
Yeah.
if that one foreign slot opens up, then you've got options.
Yep.
You have
There is
options.
another way of opening up that foreign slot, I was thinking.
Which
you
is?
can get in a Minge as well.
Robin Mins, but I don't know.
Opening, I don't quite know if that will be his strong suit. I think 3-4 is something that he would like. But again, we've seen these things happen in the IPL where a couple of positions, you made Abhishek Porel play almost every position possible in the batting order. Again, no great example to cite, but we've seen that happen. And if this is just about giving a break, because Robin Minge was another player, the moment you mentioned about
Explosive,
young players being thrown into the deep and all, he's hardly done anything for MI yet, but this may just be the season. You remember the promise that he came with?
Yeah.
I think he's not coming in from a good domestic season as well. I remember
He's
reading
been
that.
struggling domestically.
Yeah.
He had that bad accident also,
Accident.
though, then got ruled out of the IPL. I think GT had picked him that year, right? Yes, it was GT who had picked him that year.
First season.
Yeah, so he's also had that reputation kind of follow him. His form is nosedive. But there's a good player there.
Yeah.
Who knows if MI can be that team to finally unlock something.
Good. Okay, what are the challenges that await MI? The weaknesses.
One big one which we kept talking about, look, lack of
glaring.
wicket-taking wrist spinners. They just, I'm sorry, Markande was good for MI in 2016. I think that was the year. Or no, it was 2018. And then in 2019, he got replaced by Rahul Chahar. That has been the peak of both of their careers. It tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. Obviously 2019 and 20, I don't remember. It was one of those years. But Markande hasn't found the same groove since.
But Siddharth will grossly disagree with the second point that we're about to show to our viewers, which is Sky's form, because if Siddharth was here, he'd remind everyone 7 games at the 1K day, form is not a concern.
But no, which is fact. And by the way,
his IPL form last year wasn't something you had to worry about.
Yeah, incredible. Made that record, most 40 plus scores, most consecutive 40.
700 odd runs, I think he got.
He did. I guess, see, it all changes his role as a captain in the Indian team and what he needs to execute vis-a-vis him being a player for MI. I think that changes it. I agree. Half the games will be in Wankhede, a ground which he absolutely loves and thrives on. So that will be different. But I know that eyes will be on him because he's been under scrutiny from the World Cup onwards when it comes
Prior to that even.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a bad year from the second half of 2025. And he was entering the World Cup with question marks, with people saying he's only playing because he's the captain.
Plus, I think for Hardik Pandya as well, big test because they got him as captain, big fanfare. Finished with the wooden spoon in that first year. Yeah.
Boo.
No, I mean from the franchise's point of view. But that also I don't know how much of it was manufactured or how much the fans really dislike him. I don't know. But my point is that that first season finished with a wooden spoon. Second season did much better, reached the top 3. That sense, but I think this will be a defining season. Nothing less than a trophy satisfies them.
I doubt Hardik's getting another season if this one's anything less than a trophy. Yeah.
Wait, so you'll remove Hardik as captain and then force him out of the franchise because the only reason he came back is the captaincy.
Again, we've seen this with elite franchises.
Listen, if he's available for captaincy,
if they can do that to a Rohit Sharma who won them all the titles that they have,
but then his form with the bat had been tapering.
I don't think the decision was just about his personal form.
No,
this was about how they wanted to take the franchise forward and who they felt was that blue-eyed boy of Indian cricket, which Hardik Pandya at that point was. He was, remember, captain of India also, though the story changed completely. But Hardik Pandya, I don't think of franchise, because I do remember last time around there was a Jasprit, Bumrah, there was a Suryakumar, Yadav as well. Those conversations were held with all of them when that analysis of the first horrible season that he had, and everyone's captaincy ambitions were heard. Suryakumar Yadav was number 1 in making the franchise know about his captaincy ambition. So they know that there are a couple of people who are waiting in the wings already. And for how long does a franchise with that kind of success really go season after season without winning the title?
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right, because if Hardik Pandya comes up in a mega auction or is signed by any team, he's in for a big payday. At that point, he won't care what badge is there.
Yeah. I agree with you.
He wouldn't need that. He's got a new Ferrari. He would need a big payday anyway to replenish his finances. Okay, that takes us to the big question. Are they a top 4 team?
Undoubtedly. The team they have.
This is another interesting bit. Sorry, I didn't touch upon this.
Yeah, this is their biggest record, which I, as a Kolkata Knight Riders fan, say is ending this year, because they've gotten the one team who they have the absolute wood over, which is us. So if they don't break it this year, it's not breaking for a long time.
So they've not won an opening game since 2012.
Yeah. 2012 was the last time they won an IPL opening game. I've had MI fans in my DMs tell me, sir, congrats on your first win. And I'm like, how are you guys this confident? I'm not. Because I saw that and I'm like, why them? Why them? The team that shall not be named. I don't want them. Of course, if KKR can beat them, then it's always a good sign. 2014.
So even though they are up against your team,
I'm still confident.
You believe that jinx will be broken.
I think it will be broken this year. If it's not, see, this is the year we find which jinx is worse. KKR versus MI or MI versus opening games. Which is the worst jinx? You're finding it out.
Okay, now to the question. Are they a top 4 team?
Undoubtedly. The only thing which they need to do is this year, instead of top 4, finish top 2. That pretty much guarantees them a title in my book, because they have a lot of players who know how to win, and that experience is priceless. They too have, again, the likes of Sky, the likes of Bumrah, the likes of Rohit, Hardik have all been there. Even a Boult, Quinton have all been there in those glory years of MI where they were winning titles every alternate year. If they reach the top 2, they are your champions. Simple as.
Wow, big prediction.
Can you imagine with how much gritted teeth I have to say it, but I'm analyzing it as fact.
Undoubtedly, if it was very easy, it's the only second team that we are analyzing here in the studio. But chalk and cheese, the team that you had to call about yesterday and the team that we are analyzing, if it was, look at the squad, look at the 11. If it was easy for KKR to say, for one to say that maybe they're not, with them looking like a very good unit. Again, starts, and in fact, not just the first game, as Shane pointed out, those slow starts have been their biggest
For 4-5
pain
games.
point.
4-5
Big pain
games.
point. They just, they're like that bear that loves his sleep. Will get up for sure, will make a lot of noise, will absolutely wreak havoc, but it'll take those 5-6 games. If they can get their act together in the first 5-6 games, don't win all 5. Win the first 2 out of the first 4 and you're set. The tone is set for MI. They just leave too much. They ask that bear to then suddenly climb the Everest. The bear will only go so far if you're asking the bear to climb the Everest. So
the bear has climbed Everest like that 5 times and is probably tired. You have to be fair.
So the bear is also aging now. But so be mindful of that. And Mumbai Indians, teams have to be wary of them.
Will they make the top 4? I mean, it's always fraught with danger when I haven't had a closer look at all other teams. We've only seen a couple of teams that we've analyzed very closely. I'm not that informed that I can, say, because again, it's not always about how good you're looking at, but in relative to what other teams are looking. But even then, from top of my head, whatever we can look at this team, I think they are a top 4 team. They should make top 4. But are they looking like a title winning team to me? Not at the moment. I'm not that enthused about it being a title winning team. However, as I said, by the time we get closer to the IPL and we do our big preview, I think I'll be far more informed. But right now, top 4 team, but not the best team. At least to my mind so far. You guys let us know what would be your ideal 11, whether you'd want to make any changes to the one we've picked, any out of the box ideas, and where do you think this team is going to finish in the IPL in the comment section. We'd love to hear that.